Nuclear War, World War III, Part 2. Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulullah. I greet you all with the greetings of peace, which is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Last week we made available of video and photo footages of animals, birds, insects, fishes, etc., circling in clockwise movement, trying in a way, warning and appealing to humans of an impending outbreak of a nuclear war. I seek the indulgence of humanity in general, especially the billions of the voiceless, to passionately appeal to the superpowers to rethink about the safety of our planet Earth. The destructive impact of one nuclear bomb launched on a city on Earth will undoubtedly bring about unbearable and undesirable consequences to life in its totality. With all due respect, the Chernobyl accident in Ukraine in the late 1980s was the first nuclear radioactive plant leakage that destroyed the Chernobyl 4 reactors. The fallout, which was about 5%, killed many people, including animals, birds, insects, etc. They all suffered from acute radiation syndrome, ARS. The place has been deserted up till date. Large areas of Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, and beyond were contaminated with the various degrees of ARS, acute radiation syndrome. The Chernobyl disaster was a unique event and the only accident in the history of commercial nuclear power where radiation-related facilities occurred. If these sufferings was true an accident, what about the consequences of intended launch of nuclear warheads on cities? It is important to state that in the Holy Quran chapter 8 verse 25, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphatically stated thus, and avoid an affliction of a chaotic situation, lest the innocent people are afflicted by the woes of the chaotic situation brought by the unjust, and know that Allah is severe in punishing evildoers. Also in Quran chapter 55 verse 37, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns, and when the heaven is in a chaotic situation, planets colliding with each other, and the heaven becomes red like red hide, clouds, that means clouds and gases, then is the doomsday. Please let us watch the following video and one can conclude for himself or for herself about nuclear war. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Fortunately, modern people know quite little about the consequences of nuclear explosions, and our main study subjects are the tragedies that happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Back then, two powerful bombs claimed more than 200,000 lives, and these are only the people who died in the first 6 months after the disasters. But can the knowledge humanity's acquired over recent years help residents of big cities avoid such repercussions? Let's take New York, one of the biggest and fast-growing places on Earth, as an example and find out what will be left of a human after a nuclear explosion, what buildings may become a threat to the civilian population, and whether the most progressive cities like New York can resist nuclear attacks. This video has been made for educational purposes only. For starters, we need to figure out if a bomb blast with a force equal to 15 tons of TNT, and that's precisely how much of it was hidden in Little Boy, the nuke dropped on Hiroshima, will be just as devastating for New York. To do this, we should reconstruct the events. On August 6th, several warplanes took to the sky above the peaceful Japanese town. I should note, however, that apart from Colonel Paul Tibbets, the crew had no idea what kind of bomb they were carrying. At 8:14 a.m. local time, there was a loud explosion over Hiroshima. In the first nanosecond, a ball of fire occurred at ground zero and grew to 100 feet in diameter. Its temperature reached 300,000 degrees Celsius. Heated air above the ground started to glow. The aircraft crew that hastily left the area later recalled that everything around them sparked with blue and that they had a strange metallic taste in their mouths. 80,000 people died instantly. They were literally wiped off the face of the planet. But I'll come back to that a bit later. So if a bomb of this sort strikes, for example, modern-day New York, will the repercussions be just as terrifying? Unfortunately, most likely, they'll be even worse, since Japan is an island state, which means that the blast wave couldn't spread farther across the mainland. What's more, frequent earthquakes made adjustments to Japanese lives, which actually helped them. Many buildings in Hiroshima were made of rice paper and light materials, so people were not buried alive under heavy concrete slabs. Meanwhile, the architectural wonders of New York may play a nasty trick on it. So what will happen to New York buildings if somebody suddenly drops an atomic bomb on them? If a bomb with the explosive force of 15 kilotons of TNT hits Times Square, within the first nanoseconds, it'll produce a massive ball of fire, and its temperature will be several hundred times greater than that of the sun. The flash of light will blind everyone within 20 kilometers, right up to Queens and the village of Newark.